Hi again, I'm Jim Healy at Rooted in Love. In one of the marriage preparation programs I was involved in, we used to ask the engaged couples questions, and if they agreed, they'd go to one side of the room, and if they disagreed, they'd go to the other. Here's the question that would most divide the couples. When you marry, do you marry your spouse, or do you marry your spouse's family? Okay. Well, of course, afterwards I'd ask me, what's the right question? And I used to weasel out of it, but now I don't. I would say when you marry your spouse's family. Okay? Not because you're always going to be with them physically, but because your entire spouse's family is inside your spouse and you'll be dealing with them. Okay? That way. One way to identify the treasures that your spouse has received from their family of origin, but also some of the challenges, is to talk about the homilies. Well, what's a homily? Well, a homily is the sermon that the priest or the minister does on Sunday. Okay, so a homily is what your mom was always preaching, or a papally is what your father was always preaching. My dad had one, which is a common one. It was don't blow your own horn. Okay, and I hope I've taken that to heart to not kind of be a braggart and out there all the time. But as my life went on, I realized I had to kind of reinterpret that, because there are times when you do have to stand up and say, this is what I do, and I think I'm good at it, and I'm proud of it. Okay? And come to think of it, my dad in his business certainly had to advertise and be very forthright about what he could do for people. So even he had to kind of nuance that slogan. I know another one from another family, the slogan was good, better, best. Never let them rest till the good is better and the better is best. All right? Now, that certainly contains some wisdom, but that can be pushed too far too, right? That can cause a lot of stress. I know another saying that says anything worth doing is worth doing badly, right? Because if it's worth doing, but this is the best you could do, well, go ahead and do it. So these have to be reflected on sometimes when we become adults. So what's my suggestion? Is sit down with your spouse and talk about the homilies and the papalies, and talk about the value that you received out of that, but also the times when you had to kind of reinterpret that or go a little bit beyond it. And I think you'll find that that will be not only a fun experience, but also an enlightening one. So God bless you, and please consider subscribing to this channel and hitting that button.